Very good morning, student. Today I am here to teach you economics for class 11th. Students, we had started our first book, Microeconomics, in which we had already studied what, in which we had discussed some topics. Now, in our second part, I am going to discuss new topic, that is economic problem. Student, economic problems is a problem of an economy which is basically depend on the problem of choice. Students, as we know that human wants are unlimited, but means to satisfy they are limited. Means resources are limited, but human wants are unlimited. That's why economic problem is arising. Student, we can define economic problem in following manner. Economic problem is a problem of choice involving satisfaction of unlimited wants out of limited resources having alternative uses. Here are some reasons for economic problem. Students, there are mainly three reasons for the economic problem. First one is scarcity of resources. Resources such as land, labor, capital, etc. are limited in relation to their demand. And an economy cannot produce all what people want. So the resource definitely become scarce. Our next economic problem is unlimited human wants. Student, as we know that resources are limited, but human wants are unlimited, because it is the basic nature of human beings that they demand for any resources more and more. Now our last and third topic is alternative uses. It is also an economic problem. It is economic problem because what resources we have, it definitely have one or more alternatives to be used by human being, such as we have wood. With the help of wood we are not going to make only table, but we can make with the help of it chair, doors, beds, cupboards, etc. It means whatever resources we have, definitely they are in scarce form, but their uses are alternate. So student, let us discuss our next topic. Now I am going to tell you what is the meaning of economics, because we are studying this chapter of economics and it is our subject, so very important for us to know what is economics. Student, as we know that economics is science and art both. That's why we are studying economics in social study. So there is a definition which is based on behalf of that. So let us see. Economics is a social science which deals with the study of human behavior in the society, how they deal with the process of production, consumption, exchange and distribution of goods and services with the given resources. It means that we are in society studying about the human behavior and how they are dealing with the several things such as production, consumption of goods and services which they are taking, how they are exchanging goods and services with the help of money, how the goods and services can be distributed among countries or among states, and whatever the resources we have is limited, but with the help of economics we are sort outing the problems of economic and we help the people in living prosperous life. Now we have next more definition, one more definition. See it. Economics is considered as a science which deals with the wealth, welfare, growth as well as scarcity of resources. It means economics is a science which simply dealing with the wealth. As I already told you, economics is made of two words, economic and science. Economics is wealth, science means technology. So student, economics deals with what? Wealth. Welfare means samriddhi, growth as well as scarcity of resources. Now student, it is very clear to you all what is the meaning and what is the definition of economics. So student, as economics is a science, so we can simply come to know with the few topics in economics that must be positive or normative science. So student, let us discuss in what form it is a positive science and in what way it is normative science. Students, if economics is questioning in form of what is, what was and what will be, then it is a positive science. And if it is questioning that what ought to be, what should happen, what should be happened, if it is questioning in this form, then it is a normative science. So student, I think it is very clear to you all what is positive economic science and what is normative. Now let us differentiate these two topics. We can differentiate in the following table. There are several bases on the behalf of which we are differentiating these two topics. First is meaning. The meaning of positive economics is it deals with what is or how the economic problems are actually solved. Means it is clearly saying that what is fact and factual. But normative economics, it deals with what ought to be or how the economic problems should be solved. It is only an future forecasting. Next one is verification. Positive economics can be verified with actual fact, but normative economics can be verified cannot be with the help of actual facts or data. Now next one is purpose. Positive economics aims to make real description of an economic activity, but normative economics, it aims to determine the ideals or ideas. Third one is suggestive. It is based upon facts and thus not suggestive. But normative economics, it is based upon individual opinion, therefore it is suggestive in nature. Fifth one is value judgment. It does not give any value judgment. That is, it is neutral between ends. Next one is, for normative economics, it gives value judgment. Means it is the judgment of some person. Such that somebody is saying that if Rahul Gandhi is the Prime Minister of India, then GDP must be 12.3 or 12. This is the judgment of a person. Here are some examples relating to positive economics. Prices in Indian economy are constantly rising. It is positive economics because we have the data and facts about that. Second example, there are inequalities of income in our economy. Yes, it is also true because the rich and poor people are there and there is a lot of difference between rich and poor. Next one is normative. Here are the examples. India should take step to control rising prices. It is the suggestion of somebody. Next one is income inequality should be reduced. It is suggestion of anybody that income equality must be reduced. So student, I think it is very clear to you all what is positive and normative economics. Now student, let us discuss in what manner economic is divided. Student, economics is broadly divided into two parts, that is microeconomics and macroeconomics. In microeconomics students, we are studying about the things which are actually a unit or individual, but in macroeconomics we are broadly studying about the things. Okay student, let us discuss them with some bases. First basis is meaning. In microeconomics, the meaning of microeconomics is that part of economic theory which studied the behavior of individual unit of an economy. Second, macroeconomics. Macroeconomics is that part of economic theory which studies the behavior of aggregates of the economy as a whole. What are the tools in micro and macro? In microeconomics, demand and supply are the tools, but in macroeconomics, aggregate demand and aggregate supply is the tool. Basic objectives of macroeconomics: it aims to determine prices of commodity or factors of production, but macroeconomics aims to determine income and employment level of the economy. Some degree of aggregations. Microeconomics involves limited degree of aggregation. For example, market demand is derived by aggregating individual demand of all buyers in a particular market. But in macroeconomics, it involves the highest degree of aggregation. For example, aggregate demand is derived for the entire economy, means whole country. Fourth one, basic assumptions. In macroeconomics, it assumes all macro variables to be constant. This implies it assumes that national income, consumption, saving, etc. are constant. But in macroeconomics, it assumes that all the micro variables like decisions of households, firms, prices of individual products, etc. are constant. Now, next basis is other name. Microeconomics, it is also known as price theory, but macroeconomics is known as income and employment theory. Some examples of microeconomics is here: individual income, individual output, etc. Macroeconomics, national income and national output are some examples of the macroeconomics. So student, this much is for today. I will come with next topic. Thank you and have nice day.